G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit. Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back. eSIM Studios Gist Tech Podcast. So, this is episode number 194. Changing things up a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. I'm actually keeping eSIM Studios' name, but I'm as some of you might know or might not know, I created my own podcast network. We have tech podcasts, audio podcasts, and football podcasts. So, creating the name of my podcast network, I couldn't come up with a good name and a good logo, so it was the eSIM Studios Podcast Network. However, we are going, as you can tell on the top right, I'm creating a new, I'm actually not, just labeling it a new name, right? So the eSIM Studios is going to stick. However, the podcast version, this live stream, is going to be called Gist Tech. We're going to give you the gist of it without all the fluff, all the tech news, and then we're going to give you just NFL. All the NFL, the gist of the story without all the fluff. Same thing with tech. So we're going to have Gist Tech, and then we're going to have Gist NFL or Gist Sports. So anyways, just a little naming change, not the whole. We're still going to be eSIM Studios YouTube channel. I'm still going to have the eSIM Studios Gist Tech podcast. So you may see, nothing's going to change. You may see a new logo every now and then, but generally everything's going to stay the same, right? We've got some big news today. Big news today, and we'll get into it. Android 15 is officially announced and officially released. It will be available on Google Pixel devices here in just a couple of weeks. So we knew the new Pixel 9 series was going to launch with Android 14. We knew that Android 15 was going to launch here shortly after the release of the Pixel 9 series. And what do you know? Today we got the news. And we'll dive into all the changes. We'll dive into... now, some of you that have been running Android 15 beta program, like myself on previous Pixels, I think this is going to be a fantastic Android version. Android 14 has by far been the very, very best Android version I could imagine. So Android 12 rolling into Android 14 and 15. Android 12 was nothing short of a disaster. No, I wouldn't say a complete disaster, but getting it out the gates, releasing it to the public, it was a disaster. It was full of bugs. It released with the Google Pixel 6 series. Tons of bugs, tons of issues, battery drain problems. Speaking of that, we have we have Google Pixel 9a news that we will get into. But Android 12 was, let's just say, it was an Android version that we can all forget, right? Not a good launch, and it was marked with bugs up and down the release from the very beginning to moving on to Android 13. Android 13, there was not much of a aesthetics change. There was not much of a look and feel change to Android 12. In fact, a lot of people got Android 13 and 12 mixed up just because it was so similar. So Android 13 was basically Android 12 with all the bugs squashed. Then you get into Android 14, which most current devices, flagship devices, are currently on Android 14. And that's when I really thought It was the refined version of Android 13. They added a few extra features in there, right? But God, Android 14 has been so good. And it seemed like the farther we get away from Android 12, the better. And that's a good thing. I'm very excited. So I have Android 14 on all my devices. However, I have had Android 15 on my Pixel 8 Pro. Now, I'm always in the beta program. I just got out to upgrade devices, and I'll jump back out. I'll jump back into the beta program, but I usually take a month or two break every year when the new Pixels come out. But I believe Android 15 is going to be the very best version. So, got my fingers crossed. Now, here's the thing. Here's why I have a good feeling about Android 15. Android 15, when I'm on the beta version, I did not have any bugs. I don't believe. Meaning, all of my apps it worked. You would think, duh. Well, yeah. But when you're running beta, every now and then you may have an app crash. You may have an app that does not open. You may have an app that has some compatibility issues with the new version of Android. Because you got to remember, with these beta versions, they release the developer preview, which is for developers. And then they release a public beta build. That's for people like, me or you, right? But the beta builds are typically for developers, right? Getting their apps that they develop on these platforms, getting it to work. So Google gives the developers a good, 6 months or so, or 4 or 5 months maybe, when they release a beta to get ready for the public build, meaning the public stable build. It's ready for everybody. It'll be put on, Android 15 will be put on the new OnePlus 13. It'll be put on right out the gate. It'll be put on the new S25, Samsung Galaxy S25 right out the gate. It'll be put on the new Nothing Phone 3 whenever that comes around. So I have a good feeling about this. Again, I did not experience any issues whatsoever. I don't believe I did. I'm trying to rack my brain to think if I had any mishaps on Android 15 and the beta build, and I don't think I have. So it's a very refined version. And now it's going to look similar to Android 14. And by the way, this is purely ironic. This news just broke about an hour ago. Android 15 is released. This morning when I was picking shirts to wear, I was like, you know what? I haven't worn this shirt in a while. And I swear to God, I did not plan this. I got my Android 15 shirt on. So I was like, oh, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. So, excited for Android 15 and for all the Pixel users. So, no matter if you have a brand new Pixel 9, right? Let's say you got a 9 Pro. You'll get the update in about 2 weeks. You'll get notified. And trust me, subscribe to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. I will be the very first to let you know when it's ready to download and install on your device. But let's say you have a Pixel 6, right? Or Pixel 7. Good news for you. Android 15 will be ready to download and install the same day as the Pixel 9 users. So Google will release Android 15 for all Pixel devices that are eligible, typically on the same day, or they will do a rolling update, meaning if you take whatever Pixels are available for Android 15, right? Let's say, and this should be for Pixel 6, because that's before, I think they were still on their 3-year upgrade cycle plus 4 years of security patches. So it'll go back to the Pixel 6, Pixel 7, Pixel 8, and Pixel 9. Let's say out of those 4 series of devices, now that includes the Pixel 6, Pixel 6 Pro, Pixel 7, Pixel 7 Pro. If you total up everybody in the world that has a 6, 7, 8, or 9 series device Pixel, they'll do a rolling update, meaning they don't just release it on day one for you to install. And they do that for a reason. So if there is a major issue, they don't have to go back and essentially roll back 30 million pixels, right? And this is typical, right? Apple does this, Samsung does this, but out of those, whatever, I'm just throwing a number out, 30 million pixels that Android 15 is available for, they'll do, and I don't know how they do it. Maybe it's by serial number, maybe it's by IMEI number. If it falls into a certain category, I don't know. But they'll do, like, one day, they'll do 1 million pixels. The next day, they'll issue it for 2 million, for another million pixels. The next day, they'll do it for another, and then maybe the third day, if there's no, and trust me, the developers, the Google, Android team is scouring the internet. They're on their Reddit page. They're on these forums. They're subscribed to these tech publications looking for any big issues. So if there's a huge report that, oh my God, I updated my whatever Pixel 7 to Android 15, now my Bluetooth doesn't work, they'll see that and be like, whoa, okay, we need to look into this. So they're constantly scouring publications, forums, online content to see if generally everybody's having a good experience, right? So out of those however many pixels, it'll take a week or so, maybe 2 weeks to get. So they'll release it in 2 weeks, and it'll probably take 2 weeks or maybe a week and a half for everybody to get it. They don't just release it to everybody on the first day. Again, they do that for a reason. However, if you are a Pixel 9 user, whether it be the Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, Pixel 9 Pro XL, Pixel 9 Pro Fold, aka Fold 2, you should get that day one. Like, they do reward brand new, for better or for worse, right? I think whatever, I have no issues with that. They do reward people that go out and buy the latest product right off the bat. They will issue your update right away. So if you have a Pixel 9 series, expect to see an update ready to roll in about 2 weeks, right? So let's get into the new features. Let's get into what is going to be coming to our Pixel devices. Okay. Let me pull up. Check this out. So, I am going to share the screen. I made a new site, and we'll check it out. justtech.news. So here's justtech.news. Here's my new website I just made today. Well, actually, I started it yesterday, finished it today. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Didn't take much to build. When you build a simple and easy website, it's simple and easy. No huge features here, but I did write about new features that are launched and that are coming to your Pixel devices. So let's explore 5 new features. These are they now check this out. There's going to be way more than 5 new features. These are just like the top 5 cool features that you'll see on Android 15. And if you don't have a Pixel device, you should get it. You have to check with your manufacturer. So Samsung typically updates, I think, in November. OnePlus, they change theirs up every now and then, but they have released the AOSP. So here's the other thing. If you want to flash it, if you want to use, if in 2 weeks, if you have a Pixel, no matter which Pixel it is, if you have a Pixel that is eligible for Android 15 and you want to update it on day one, you can use the Android Flash tool that we have on eSIMstudios.app, and you can essentially flash this Android 15 to your Pixel. If you don't want to wait for that rolling update, if you don't want to sit there and be twiddling your fingers for the next week or so waiting for your update, you can flash Android 15. And maybe when it does get released, I'll show you all how to do that. It's pretty easy. But here's 5 cool features that you will see coming to Android, right? So you're going to get earthquake warnings. Now, I don't know how accurate this is because earthquakes typically happen pretty fast. They obviously have sensors. They're connected to, I don't know, the Geological Association. I have no idea. But you're going to get earthquake warnings. Hang on, let me clear my throat. Pardon me. So you are going to get earthquake warnings, and that will be implemented here in Android 15. So Google is integrating earthquake alerts directly into Android devices. When an earthquake occurs, your phone will receive a warning notification. This feature can be especially valuable for safety and readiness. And we'll take a look at what that looks like. Improved circle to search gesture. So this is one of the most used, quote-unquote, AI features that was available first on Galaxy devices, but wink, wink, was also available on Pixel devices as well. This is one of the few Android features that I use, AI features that I use. And is it really AI? No. What it is, it's Google image search on steroids. You just are able to choose what image on any image on your screen. But it's going to be improved with Android 15, where you can draw the circle on the screen to activate Google Assistant. And it's getting an upgrade. Now you can use this gesture even when the screen is off. I have no idea what they mean by this, because if your screen is off, what the hell are you going to be circling? A black screen? So I was kind of, yeah, I don't know where they're going with this. I read this and I was like, huh? Do what? I was like, that don't make sense. But hey, we'll test it out when it's available and see what the hell they're talking about. They're saying it's a convenient way to quickly access voice commands. Whatever. Enhanced voice access. Google's making voice access more powerful. You will be able to scroll, tap, navigate through apps using voice commands. This accessibility feature benefits users with limited mobility. That's cool. I guess if you're blind, right? Smart replies in more languages. So smart replies, which suggest contextually relevant responses in messaging apps, are expanding to more languages. This feature saves time by offering quick replies based on content of incoming messages. You'll also see improved performance and battery life, right? So with each, I think since Android 12, as I opened up the show with, each version seems to get a little smoother, animations a little faster, quicker loading times. They've really done a lot of work behind the scenes with the kernel coding of Android to make everything faster and a more smoother experience. I cannot tell you how awesome this Pixel 9 Pro XL is. So smooth, so buttery. And I almost feel bad criticizing them before the launch on their CPU, but it is what it is. Side note, our Pixel Watch did ship. So we're getting a Pixel Watch 3. I don't know when Pixel 9 Pros are going to be ready or readily available, when they are going to ship. I have my fingers crossed. I think it's going to be soon. I think we're looking at, if you don't know, Google released, I just activated my Google Assistant. Google released Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, Pixel 9 Pro XL, Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Only the Pixel 9, the base model, and the Pixel 9 Pro XL was available at launch, meaning if you ordered it, they'd ship it. For whatever reason, the Pixel 9 Pro, the small flagship, and the Pixel Fold 2, there was a delay in shipping. I don't know if they weren't ready. I don't know if they just simply didn't manufacture enough of them. But right now, I think they're getting close to shipping them. I think. So if you got one on order, just hang tight. I promise you, you're going to like this device. Don't get fed up and cancel it. You got to give this a shot, because what Google's doing with this Pixel 9 series is something out of this world. It's they're entering a hardware galaxy that they've never been in before. Meaning the build quality is exceptional. It's the best I've ever seen. Maybe on any Android device, and that's saying a lot. I've had almost every device. Not every, but you get every flagship that's sold here in America I've had, and it may be the best build quality out of all of them. So you're going to love it. Hang tight. I promise you it's going to be well worth the wait if you're waiting on a Fold or the Pixel 9 Pro. I can promise you you're going to love it. Just hang in there. We got another week or so, and I think they're going to start shipping them. So again, improved performance and battery life. Google is optimizing Android to deliver better performance and longer battery life. Expect smoother app launches, faster switching between apps, and overall improved responsiveness. I can tell you, just with Android 14 on this Pixel 9 Pro XL is badass. So I can only imagine Android 15. That's why I'm getting so excited. Now, let's get into Android 15. Here's some other new features, right? So, we got more features. Better Braille support. An Android 15 TalkBack now supports Braille displays using the HID standard over both Bluetooth and secure Bluetooth connections. It ensures a more inclusive experience for the visually impaired. Audio playback handling. So when resource limits are reached, Android 15 invalidates previously open direct or offload audio tracks. This change ensures efficient audio resource management and prevents conflicts when requesting new audio tracks. Now, also, low light boost for cameras. Android 15 introduces a low light boost available both in Camera 2 API and in night mode camera extensions. This feature enhances photo quality in challenging lighting conditions. So they're basically bringing the Google night mode feature is going to be available in the Camera 2 API, meaning it should be available for, so Samsung has their own night mode, right? But nothing doesn't really, right? OnePlus, do they? I'm not sure. Not Huawei. Xiaomi. Anyways, Google's gonna open up their night mode code, their night mode API, to let smaller companies or companies that have not implemented a night mode into their camera. Google's gonna allow them to tap into the Pixel night mode, so to speak, and essentially tap into that to allow users to have a night mode on basically any phone that you're going to be using in the future, which is nice because Google definitely has the best night mode still shots and night mode video, and I have a review of that. The night mode boost is pretty dang cool. It's very cool, actually. I tested it on the 8 Pro and the 9 Pro XL. Really cool. So they're going to bring that. They're going to open that up to every Android manufacturer. Also, in-app camera controls. Developers now have more control over camera hardware and algorithms. Expect a richer in-app experience on supported devices. Now, we're also going to bring HDR headroom control. So an Android 15 lets you adjust HDR headroom using this code right here. This balance between SDR and HDR content ensures optimal viewing. Loudness control. The new loudness codec controller API adheres to the CTA 2075 loudness standard. It helps manage audio loudness inconsistencies, providing a more smoother listening experience. Now, you're also going to see in Android 15 virtual MIDI 2.0 devices. Android 15 extends UMP support for virtual MIDI apps. Composition apps now control synthesizer apps as virtual MIDI 2.0 devices. Efficient AV1 software decoding. DAV1D, the popular AV1 software decoder, is now available for Android devices lacking AV1 hardware decode support. So expect better video playback efficiency. Wallet role. Android 15 introduces a new wallet role, allowing tighter integration with the user's preferred wallet app. So you could use your own app. It makes for easy access to different payment apps, right? They can access each other's information. Satellite connectivity, so you don't have to be adding one card to each app that you download. You should be able to add it to your Google Pay app, and then every other app that needs access or requests access to your debit card number, credit card number, can just tap in. You can give it access, approve connectivity between your Google Pay app and your Chime app or PayPal app or Cash App, whatever. So you don't have to sit there and input it in every single app you download. Satellite connectivity. Android 15 extends platform support for satellite connectivity. Users can send and receive messages without cell service, meaning it will connect with satellite service instead of the typical tower down the street. This is big. It'll be implemented on Pixel first, and T-Mobile has already struck a deal with Elon Musk's Starlink, I believe, Starlink satellites to provide T-Mobile with SOS satellite connectivity. And other carriers are going to do the same thing. So T-Mobile, satellite access, and now it should filter down to the MVNOs of T-Mobile, meaning Mint Mobile, Metro PCS, Simple Mobile, all that stuff. AT&T, once they strike a deal with a satellite connectivity company, you'll see that trickle down to the phones and service of not only AT&T, but Cricket, H2O Wireless, all that stuff. Same thing with Verizon. Verizon strikes a deal, and it'll be soon. You'll get Simple Mobile, visible devices gaining satellite connectivity. Now, it's down the line, but it's going to happen. So, very interested in exciting times for Android 15. Now, let me see if I can pull up this official website by Google. There we go. Now, this is basically what I went over already. I want to see in here if I missed anything, just so I give y'all the detailed information. I think I got everything. This is the official Android developers website, so it has everything you could think of in here. Looks like I did get everything. Good. You know, better graphics APIs. Now that goes for games, for motion graphics on your phone, whether it's transitions, games, stuff like that. Large screen form factors, meaning the displays should look better on larger tablets, larger form factors. Let's see, performance and battery enhancing. So they're going to have a new profiling manager, which lets you collect profiling information from your app. You should get better battery life, quite honestly. So it looks like some definite privacy upgrades. Partial, what does this say? Privacy sandbox, that's a must. Health Connect, that's a must. Private space, so basically, I know their private space didn't really work on Android 15 beta with the Pixel 8 Pro, but they're going to implement a section in Android 15 now where you can essentially make private your private photos and applications that you want to keep off your app drawer. They're going to implement that as well. A bunch of security features, system user experience, and system UI changes. So very cool stuff. Cannot wait to get this rolling and check that out. Now, where was the, let's see, Pixel 9a? Here we go. So, real quick. Good news and bad news. Good news, and I think we already kind of knew this coming into the 9a, Pixel 9a. So I did show the photos. We did review those. It looks cool in one way that it is a flat front, flat back, flat sides. It's going to look kind of similar to like an S24 Plus, as you can tell, maybe an iPhone. Actually, kind of is like an iPhone, right? But the back's going to be different. So it's not going to have that big camera bar like the Pixel 9 series has, because typically the A series have always looked just very similar to its bigger brother, right? The 6A looked pretty damn similar to the 6. 7A is pretty damn similar to the 7. 8A pretty damn similar to the 8. Now, the 9A is when you hit your brakes, or you get that record scratch. Not really going to look similar. So here you have it. That's what the Pixel 9a is going to look like. Now, it will share the Tensor G4 CPU with its bigger siblings. However, it's one big bummer. It's going to use last year's modem. So this year, battery life has been just insane. Check this out. I charged my phone on Friday. What day are we on? Tuesday. I charged my phone up, unplugged it Friday morning as I had 100%. On Sunday, so we're talking 48 hours later, I was still in the 90% of battery life. That's 48 hours later, I was at like 92%. 2 days, and it only went down 8%. Last year's phone would have been dead. So the battery life on here, the standby time is incredible. Now that's mainly because of this new modem they put in here. So they put a new modem that's been working freaking awesome. And this is the bummer with the 9a. So we got word today, this new Pixel 9a is going to have last year's older Exynos modem, model number 5300. The new one this year, that's badass, that really locks on a weak signal and doesn't switch, is the Exynos modem 5400. So, bummer there. Pixel 9a going to use last year's modem, pretty weak. And if your phone is constantly searching for a stronger signal, if it's constantly bouncing from tower to tower, you're going to lose massive battery life. And quite frankly, that sucks. And now that I'm using this one with the new modem, I would never, ever want to use another phone and or Pixel that's taking a step back in the modem, that's going backwards, and or using last year's modem. Never, ever. So I know I'm not getting this Pixel 9a because the battery life's just not going to be as good. That's how good the battery life is on these Pixel 9 devices. So, got a little bit of bad news if you were interested in getting the 9A. Look, it's still going to be a good device. I'm not going to say don't get it. I'm just saying for me, I'm not getting it. So, that choice obviously is left up to you. I'd rather get just a Pixel 9 than a 9A. Right? So, it doesn't have some of the pro features. and hardware that its older brothers, bigger brothers, the Pixel 9 Pro and Pixel 9 Pro XL, but it's going to be way better than the Pixel 9a, right? Because it still has the whole Pixel 9 lineup. The 4 devices have that new Samsung Exynos 5400 modem in it. So all the Pixel 9 devices should get pretty good battery life. Now, before we get out of here, it's a Pixel heavy episode. I told y'all. So before we get out of here, if you've been having a screen brightness issue on your Pixel 9 series, an auto brightness issue, there's an easy fix. I have not experienced this issue, but if you have, I'll put a link in the description to where you can go walk you through how to fix it. Very easy. It's if you're experiencing an auto brightness issue, hang on one second. If you're experiencing an auto brightness issue on your Google Pixel 9 series device, there's a straightforward fix you can try. Sometimes when migrating from older Pixel phone, the adaptive brightness data, right? So the cache data that carries over from your old Pixel device to your new Pixel device can cause inconsistencies. So here's how to reset your phone's adaptive brightness with the Pixel 9 series. Go to settings. Go ahead. I'll wait a second. Go to settings. Navigate to apps and apps notifications, depending on your device, but go to settings and then navigate to apps or apps and notifications. And then simply find and select device health services. Once you get there, tap on storage and cache. Click clear storage. Don't worry, this won't immediately wipe all your data. It's just the cache for that specific app, right? So you're not going to lose pictures. It's not going to delete a bunch of your videos that you've taken. It's just going to delete the cache data for the for the adaptive brightness setting. So after you go to settings, after you go to apps, after you go to device health services, select storage and cache, and then simply select clear storage. You'll find the reset adaptive brightness setting. Click it to reset your phone's adaptive brightness. This might not instantly solve the problem. However, it simply clears the model of your phone has for the build of your brightness setting. Your Pixel 9 will still need some time to learn new habits. Hopefully, this fresh restart will help your auto brightness behave more consistently. So, it's learning your habits as well. So, for some people, it might be an immediate fix. And for some people, it might take a few days, right? But if you are experiencing that problem, follow those steps, and that should fix the issue. So, I'll put that link in the description below. And that will do it for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us on the eSIM Studios Just Tech News. eSIM Studios podcast, Just Tech News. Again, I will be implementing this Just Tech, and it's tech news in the gist of it, right? So without all the fluff. So I know I talk a lot, I get it, but when you actually go to the website, it'll be just the main points as we were just looking over right now, without all the fluff. Sometimes when you're reading articles, you just want to get to the damn point. You don't want to read like 4 extra paragraphs of somebody, because all they're doing is they're typing extra words just to get Google AdSense certified. So in these articles for these publications, you have to have, for an article to be qualified for AdSense, meaning that page has to have at least 2,000 words. And then Google will put AdWords and or advertisements on your publication, on that news story. It has to have at least 2,000 words before Google AdSense will implement ads on that page. So that's why you see on a lot of these publications, all you need is 3 lines of information, But they're adding in all this extra crap just to get Google AdSense certified so they can run ads on the page. I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to just run the bullet points, trying to just get you in and out, because I know a lot of people don't have time. You know, you get the point. I'm just trying to do something different and monetize it in other ways. But so you're not going to see a bunch of ads on my stuff. So I'll put links in the description. And I got to run. I have an NFL podcast to record. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. eSIM Studios YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get all your tech news and information. Peace out.